sorry, so it would make one, more sense if they were here, this toast, and two, more sense if I was completely pissed and couldn't actually pronounce everything that I spent all of yesterday on. Thanks, Al. Okay, this is a little poem dedicated to you all called Nothing Rhymes with Christmas. 'Twas the day before, the night before, the night before, the night before Christmas. As we celebrate the birth of a fictitious shepherd boy, the delusional Jew, let us not forget the more recent events, for there have been a few, that have brought us all together in this momentous year. If you'll indulge me for just a short while, I'll try and list them here. But let's first take a moment to reflect that despite the Mayan hysteria, the world's ended. Well, not just yet. The world's not ended. Well, not just yet. Though as you awake with nausea late tomorrow morn, with a hangover greater even than Emerald's love of porn, you'll perhaps wish it had and cry, good God, I blame it all on Ollie, that festive feast-organising song. So back to our task, a Yuletide poem done Gangnam style. In praise of the year that saw Michael Clark Duncan walk the eternal green mile. We had the Jubilee and the Olympics with Wiggins, Ennis and Moe, who compared to Usain Bolt still are quite slow. James Bond turned 50 and Batman died. A probe landed on Mars and the Large Hadron at last did collide. At the start of the year, Colonel Gaddafi was alive and well, and then was dispatched to the fiery pit of hell. Obama used his charm and charisma to win an election, whereas Jimmy Savile used his to maintain an erection. But closer to home, and on a more personal note, let's now mention the new additions on whom we all dote. Persephone Snowdrop, such a middle-class name. With a full set of teeth into the world, smiling she came. And the newest member of the family, little Ayla Rose. Brenny's doubtless delighted that she hasn't got Tom's nose. Susie and Mark, who's now a multi-millionaire, had little Lulu, the baby with the Chinese hair. Jess had one too and named him Harrison. So far so good, no allergic reaction. Amateur in India, almost ready to go. Fingers crossed for a ginger afro. Claire and Dan, who sadly aren't here, they're busy de-gluing Otto's glue ear. And a girl and called it Flora Marie. Where all these babies suddenly came from is quite beyond me. The Greek debt crisis sent the markets all a flurry. Strange how it all started when Costa bought that mansion in Surrey. Currencies crashing and hyperinflation. Just how much did Nicky spend on interior decoration? The Eurozone meltdown, the economy on the slide. Still, much has happened to fill us with pride. Rebecca Brooks got nicked. Abu Hamza slung his hook. Bruce married Amy and Hidden Door got fully booked.
Hey!
Al and Olive moved to Bath. Yet Al's often back in London having a laugh. When Travis finally finished his flat, we were all struck dumb. But of course he built a spare room just for his mum. Kelly and Ev also were in pastures new, watching X Factor and Strictly and eating pot noodle stew. Kel did another play at the Tristram Bates, and as usual the audience was packed with her mates. Suki and Dan are off to Sao Paulo with Vice, but seeing them before they depart was so very nice. Little Chris to launch Shitler.com in 2013. Will he finally propose and make Sophie his queen?
Hey!
But let's pause for a moment and use this poetical hiatus to celebrate that Palestine got UN observer status. Miners off crutches and Sam's a developer, though building a tad slower than an illegal Israeli settler. Japan sadly had yet another tsunami, but in Egypt the people took power from the army. Joe's gone from advertising Chivas whiskey to something truly regal. He's playing King Louis in a Borgia's knockoff, R-rated, it's barely legal. We had Plebgate and Libor, Homeland 2 and The Killing 3, Hillsborough finally got justice, and Burma's trying democracy. And so we come to Marcus. So much fun out on the lash. One creme de menthe and voila! Ball moustache. There's jet setter Chloe. Where she's off next is anyone's guess. Just before we go, love, please feed the cat, tidy room, it's a fucking mess. From Bali to LA to Florence, Paris, New York and Brazil, sharing a house with you has been absolutely thrill. Speaking of jets, let's not forget Captain Soltero. Bravo Mike India Victor, he's quite the aeronautical fellow. We went down to Cornwall, and for a while he let me fly the plane. An accidental loop-the-loop later, and his language became quite profane. On that occasion, we cheated death by just a sliver, unlike Andy Williams, who's now floating down. Ed's landing on a cliff, not a fiscal one, a real cliff, gave me quite a fright. And Patrick Moore's now in this quiet life. Who shot JR, we used to wonder. Now Larry Hagman's 6 feet under. There are some others too who are no longer alive, like Dave Brubeck, who finally took 5. Maurice Sendak's gone to where the wild things are. It's a miracle he wasn't joined by Felix Baumgartner. Yes! Ravi Shankar with his sitar gently weeps, but we're all still here, and life ain't for keeps. It's Christmas, so let's not forget the church and the marriage of the gays, or the fact that Fidel Sassoon isn't going anywhere nice on his holidays. Hark the herald angels sing, gone too are Whitney Houston and Rodney King. There was David Petraeus and the CIA sex scandal, but enough, this has been mere preamble to the one mankind will truly never forget. Neil Armstrong took his final one small step. Let's wrap things up now and unwrap our secret Santa, and never forget the Nazis invented Fanta. So look around you at this collection of friends. Eat, drink and be merry. And ask yourself, if the Germans now own Europe, what was the point of fighting Jerry? Another final question to pose as this never-ending ditty draws to a close. If the world had have ended, as was foretold, aren't you glad that it's with each other that we've chose to grow old? Oh, and a brief coda. Disney bought Star Wars.
Turning his grave with Yoda.
I ran out of memories, so you can take your time on the last bit. Sorry, dude.
Falky Metcalf. Oh, guys, seriously, get a room. And as for me, I'll be golfing on the moon. So raise your glass in a toast of good cheer to 2012. What an amazing year.